Hello everyone, today I'm going to be skipping my normal intro just in case anybody from the fan base or the creator himself happens to see this video. I don't want it to come across as me just goofing on him just to goof or, just to have fun, because I feel like there's an actual issue going on here that needs to be talked about. Sorry for the dog. It's not my dog, I'm just watching him. He might be attacking me throughout this video, but that's not the point of the video. The point of this video is to talk about specifically a specific creator, and a lot like the other video I made about something along these lines, when I made a video about Ryan Moody and how I lost respect for him because he straight up stole someone's content. This video is kind of like that one, except the guy I'm talking about didn't steal anyone's content, but there is still a problem that I think needs to be discussed. Before we get into what happened, let's talk about the backstory. So this YouTuber that I'm talking about today, his name is Jimmy Snow, and a lot of you, if you know him under the title Mr. Atheist, because that was his channel name for a very long time, and that was also the first show on YouTube that he did. At least one that got popular. It was, a specific style of content where he just sits down and talks, as the name implies, about a lot of religious things and how the religion he was raised in he didn't very like because it was kind of manipulative and he didn't enjoy it, and how he's now an atheist. And eventually he branched out into a broader political topics such as anti-queer stuff or feminist stuff, a lot of content like that. And I myself dabbled in that a little bit, but I kind of stopped just because I didn't think my videos were very informative and I didn't really like making them anymore. But I respect him for two things. One, for making that type of content enjoyable to watch for other people, and two, he often talks about how in the past he wasn't the best person. He said previous relationships he could be, not the best partner. He said, how he's grown and stuff as a person. And I really respect, or at least respected that, because it's better than when creators just try to brush their history under the rug by straight up telling you, look, this is what happened in my past and I'm trying to change it and I'm a different person now, but this is what I did in the past, and, learning from the mistakes. And I really do respect that aspect of it. What I don't respect is what happened a few days ago. Also, to catch you up on a little bit more backstory, he's known for his Mr. Atheist show, but recently he's kind of stopped doing that, and he's started a new type of content, something a lot like a late-night talk show. For context, I'll show you a clip of one of his older video styles and one of his newer video styles to just show you what the difference is.
But let's just start here. Chapter 20. Will God tell me which person is the one to marry? And so here was a section I highlighted. Look, God might speak to you really clearly about this person you are dating. He might write it in the sky, or he might whisper to you at night as you drift off to sleep. Except for he literally never does either of those things. There's never, this is the thing. They always talk about, they use these kinds of metaphors, and it annoys me because it's like, you know what? If that actually happened, we'd have a friggin' ball game and you'd have a friggin' point. But it never does happen, so you have no point.
Tonight on the Sometime Show, New York is offering full ride scholarships to kids who get vaccinated. And they're also reminding kids to stay 6 feet away from Governor Cuomo. Then, we've got a lot of stories about Florida. You ever notice they never try to secede though? That's because no one would stop them.
Yeah, you can see, it's kinda different. Now, I'm not making this video just because, oh boo, I don't like the new style of what this YouTuber I used to watch does, and I don't like it, so I'm gonna make a video about it. That's not the point. If that was the only thing that happened here, I wouldn't be making a video at all. YouTubers change their style all the time, and I don't really mind that. In fact, I kind of like his new content in a way. I like the other one, I think, better, but this one has a different genre that it's kind of filling, and I do respect it for the most part. But what I am making a video about is what happened a few days ago, aka the incident. Okay, so a little bit ago, if you go on his community tab on his YouTube channel, you can see a tweet that he put into a community tab post that was saying something along the lines of, hey, we've just hit 30 or 35 episodes of this new show that he's doing, and it doesn't have the views that he wanted. And if it doesn't hit X amount of views by this date, by the 100th episode or whatever he said, he would consider the rollout a failure. Now, on its own, in a bubble, I don't have any problem with this post really at all. It makes sense, if he has this huge production team, obviously he needs the right amount of views to continue to do it. If he has to, if he's not making ends meet or whatever, I totally understand how, you might need to be like, hey, this isn't working because it's not getting the right amount of views. And so on its own, I get this message and I really don't have that much of a problem with it, as I've said similar things in the past. But what makes it a little bit more muddy is what happened a week or two after that post, and where I really started to be like, that's kind of not a great look. And that's because a few days ago, he put on his community tab another tweet that he put into a forum like that, where he said, some of you are confused. It's not do the new content or go back to Mr. Atheist. It's do the new content or quit YouTube. And again, on its own, I really don't have much of a problem with that statement in theory. I understand, if you just don't like the other content and you really like your new content, and, I get it can be demoralizing when you put a lot of work into something and it doesn't really turn out. And if that's the only content that he has any interest in making, again, I understand it to a point where it's like, oh, maybe I just don't want to do YouTube anymore if this new thing that I'm really proud of isn't doing well and I don't have a lot of anything else to do. Again, in a bubble, I don't have a problem with that statement. What I do have a problem with is when you combine the two of them, the previous statement and this one, and what's about to happen in the future. That kind of raised a red flag for me in a way. It's much like a manipulation tactic that a lot of people often use who are manipulators when they say certain things that I really don't want to repeat fully on YouTube because I don't feel comfortable with it. But it's something along the lines of, hey, you be nice to me, or you do this to me, or you won't get to anymore. If you've been in this situation before, you probably know what it is, but I'm not going to say it on YouTube. But it's a very classic manipulation tactic that people often use. And again, on its own, if he just said that one post first, I don't think I would be making this video. But when he has the whole, and needs to hit X views by X date, and then you add this where it's like, hey, either this gets the amount of views that I said previously, or I'm going to stop YouTube, it starts to come across as a little bit manipulative. A little bit like, hey, I deserve these views, and if you don't give it to me, then you don't get to watch me anymore. And even if that's not his intent, which I kind of don't think it was, at least I hope it wasn't. But even if it wasn't what he was intending that to sound like, that's what it comes across as, at least to me. And I even said so in the comments. I and a lot of other people on that post had a lot of comments similar to mine where I said, hey, look, I understand, I get it, I'm a content creator too. It sucks when you put a lot of effort into something and it doesn't get the reception that you want. And, I understand you have to make ends meet or whatever, but maybe don't use this manipulation tactic or actually just manipulate people into being like, I deserve these views and you better give them to me, that kind of thing. And I commented that. A lot of other people did it as well. It wasn't just me. It was a lot of people who said very similar things. I even had a little bit of a back and forth with people in the comments. Some were agreeing with me and saying, this is why, it's starting to rub me a little bit of a wrong way. And then I also had one person in particular was like, I don't agree with that. And we were actually having a constructive back and forth. And I got a notification that was like, hey, this person responded to your comment or whatever from YouTube. So I went to click on it. I clicked on it on my phone and it said a network error, couldn't, go to the thing. I was like, oh, that's weird. My phone must be acting dumb because it does that sometimes. So I went out of it and clicked back onto the link and it still wasn't working. Then I got a little curious and I was like, wait, did he delete the post? Or what's going on here? So I went to the community tab. That's what happened. He deleted it. That's why I haven't been showing you the actual post like I did the last one, because it's deleted. I didn't think to screenshot it at the time, so I don't have any evidence of it, but it was there. Some other people do that, and there's even some evidence that I'll show later on that it was like, yeah, this happened. I'm sorry I didn't get the screenshot. I didn't think it would be taken down, but I do have some of the replies that I got. If that wasn't already a little bit weird enough where he starts to get a little bit of heat and then it's just deleted, that's kind of suspicious. But what makes it even worse is what happened like 2 minutes later after the post was deleted. He posted another thing on his community tab. This time it was just text. And he said, "The Sometimes Show is the best thing I've ever created," or something along those lines. And that wasn't really the point of a lot of our arguments. And it came across as a little like, oh, I'll just delete that to get rid of the backlash. Again, if that was his intent or not, I really don't know, but that's what it boils down to. All of the criticism he was getting on that other post is gone now because the post is gone as well. So myself and a lot of other people re-commented what we were saying. I didn't, copy and paste anything. I just typed a new thing where it was like, did you really delete your thing because of criticism? And there was, a lot of people in the comments were saying this. I don't want to say everyone was saying it because that's not true. Some people were just either oblivious to what was happening or didn't really care, and they were like, oh yeah, the Sometimes Show was good. And again, I kind of like the Sometimes Show that he does. I'm not making this video because I dislike the new content. I've watched it. I don't watch it all the time, but I do still watch it. I watch it about as much as I did the other one. So it's not that I'm making this because I hate the new content or anything. It's because the way that what happened rubbed me, and I think a lot of people, kind of the wrong way. Now, at this point, I did start screenshotting because I'm like, what happens if this one gets taken down? And I kind of already thought I wanted to make a video on it. So I'll put up as many as I can right now. I'm not going to stop the video and read them to you. You can pause it and read them if you wish. I don't know how many I'll be putting on screen right now. I have a lot of screenshots and I don't know how many are really relevant to this. But it's just, like I said, evidence so that it wasn't just me who was thinking this. There were a lot of people like, all right, dude, we get it, but don't manipulate us, please. That's not good. That's not healthy. That's not, what a good content creator does. It's weird coming from him because in his past, he's said how, he was manipulative in his past relationships and how he's grown and how he's changed and how he realized that that wasn't a good thing. And now he's showing symptoms of that again. And I think a lot of us were just caught off guard. We're like, are you okay? What's going on? And there was a lot of those types of comments where it's like, hey, dude, take a break, take a deep breath, go on a walk or something and come back, with a clear mind, and then maybe start replying to some comments or address the controversy, if you will, or what happened. And instead of that, he started semi-attacking people in the comments. Like, there are a lot of them, and I have them screenshotted here, like I'm, cycling through them on screen. But there's a lot of them where he replies to people where, they were just saying, hey, you dude, maybe take a little bit of a break, calm your head a little bit, and then he starts in with something like, calm, I'm just trying to explain what's going on, what are you coming at me for, what the heck, or something along those lines. And that's a little defensive and not exactly what you want when you have this sort of controversy around you, to start attacking people, especially when that person wasn't even one of the people saying, hey, that was a manipulation tactic, maybe don't do that. She didn't say, or he, or I don't remember, but that person, they didn't say anything about that. They just said, hey, maybe calm down a little bit, take a little bit of a breather. And then he just started attacking that person. And very similarly, he replied to me quite often. And I don't know why. I'm the one that caught his attention, but I have at least 3 or 4 replies that I'll show you that he started replying to me and what I was saying. And I do regret, in a way, what I said in the first reply that he replied to me, and it was I can't remember exactly what it was said, but it was like, you don't know me, you don't know what was in my head and my intention, your hunches aren't always right just because you have them, or something like that. And I kind of got a little bit of a, okay, dude, what the heck, I was just trying to help, show you how, maybe that isn't what you want to portray. Again, even if it wasn't manipulation, even if wasn't what he was intending to do, that's what it ended up being. At least to a lot of people, and we were like, just trying to like, hey, don't do that, maybe an apology would be nice, and then, we can just kind of forget about it. But instead, he dug his foot in the ground more, and he replied to me like that, and then I kind of regret what I said after, because I'm like, whoa, dude, really, pull yourself together, or something like that. And that kind of is a little bit more aggressive than how I wanted to come across. I wasn't trying to be like, you did something really wrong. I was just trying to point out, don't manipulate people, please. It's something where I respect him as a content creator and I like his content, and I don't want to see him, start attacking people and being like, oh, you have to watch my content or I won't make any, and I deserve these views and whatnot. Especially since he just transitioned from his old content to his newer content. It's been, 2-3 months maybe that he's been doing this newer style. And it's like, you have the people who have subscribed to you, for the most part, have subscribed to you for your old content. And that's what we're used to. So when you change to a new style, even if it's talking about the same basic thing, but if you change the style, some people don't like that because they liked your old content. And I'm not saying that, you have to go back to the old content, but you have to give it time for your old viewers to either adjust to your new content and start enjoying it, or find a new audience that the new content is more suited to. But instead, he starts, saying, oh, it has to hit this by this date, by this random date, and, oh, I'm going to quit YouTube if this doesn't, go my way or whatever. And then when he deletes the criticism that he got of that post, and then he comes back on saying, I deleted the post not because it was, I was getting backlash. It was because it was creating a negative environment. And I wanted a more positive one, which, again, you can't just brush aside criticism like that, especially when I and a lot of other people think it was genuinely valid. It's not that a lot of us were like, viciously attacking him. We weren't. We were just pointing out how that's a manipulation tactic and maybe, don't do that. I'm saying manipulative too much, aren't I? But I did reply to him a few other times. I said, hey, we're just looking for an apology. We're not trying to attack you. And he kept replying to a lot of people, just a lot of different things. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. I do have screenshots that I'll be showing you that you can, like I said, pause and just kind of read them. But like a lot of them come off as too passive aggressive or just aggressive in general. And again, that's not exactly how you want to see somebody handle criticism like this. He's kind of moved on since then. He hasn't really said a lot after that. He started posting other stuff on his community tab, and I see a lot of other community people like commented on that, and there's not really a lot of talk around this, so I don't know if this video is really even gonna get a lot of views because it is a few days old at this point. But I saw a lot of people being like, this is kind of upsetting how you're handling the situation, and I don't know if I want to support you anymore. And I even said that at one point. I think a lot of people, I don't have the numbers for this, but I think a few people unsubscribed. I know I did. I know a few others were saying they were going to, and how it just wasn't a good look, and they didn't like the vibe he was giving off anymore. Whether he's entitled or not, that's how it came across, and the fact that he just deleted it because he doesn't, he wanted a positive environment or whatever. You can't just create one when people are having a problem with what you're doing. And that's why I really wanted to make the video. It's just to kind of explain the situation, explain what my feelings are on it, and if he happens to see it, I hope I've come across not as someone who's trying to attack you, but as someone who is just trying to help show, what maybe other people are seeing. And like I said, maybe that wasn't his intention, but just because it wasn't your intent doesn't mean that it didn't hurt somebody. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. And my next video and my next few videos will be on a lighter subject. This one, I didn't want to make too many jokes because it is a serious topic and I wanted to take it seriously, just to get my point across. But this isn't my normal type of content, and I'll be back to that in a few weeks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye!